The Amazing Maurice is a new animated movie that's playing in a limited release. I believe it's limited release. It might be wide release. I'm not really sure, but I think it's just limited release. And I went to go check it out because when I went to go see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, it got nominated for Best Animated Feature, which it deserves to win. Um, and they were showing it in theaters. Finally, at my local theater. I know they were showing it in limited release before Netflix, but yeah, because I was in a theater watching that, I saw a trailer for this coming out, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out. Sent from the writer of Shrek, and this movie's dog shit. The thing is, this movie is very much like Shrek, where it's making fun of storytelling tropes and conventions, and it uses like characters like the Pied Piper and other fairy tale characters to tell a story, but it's not good. The humor isn't clever at all. The thing is, Shrek had a distinct tone and vibe and sense of humor to it that even 22 years, yeah, 22 years later, Shrek still holds up and people still talk about fucking Shrek. And I know people say, well, that's because of the memes and stuff. Yes, to an extent, yes, but also no. This movie wants to be Shrek, but it's very generic. it it also is very confused on what it wants to be. This movie, yeah, I like. There's no tone or vibe to the humor. It's just kind of characters doing things. Basically, the plot of this movie is this cat and this orphan kid walk around this town, trying to investigate this rap mystery, and it's very boring. Um, the animation to this film is like there is no reason to watch this on a big screen if it's playing near you because the animation is direct to video level, if not just slightly better, but that's a very low slightly. Like it's like ooh, like maybe it's 5% better. I don't know, 5% out of 100 because it's just like this movie looks ugly. Um, and like the movie's very has some very irritating characters in the movie. Like for example, you get this girl who narrates the story, and she seems to like know everything that's gonna happen in the story before it happens. There's just no reason to be engaged in what's happening. She's very snarky. She's very whatever. She interrupts the story as the narrator and as a character in the story, and she does that constantly throughout the movie, but it's very irritating because when you're watching it, you're just interrupting the movie to point out shit that was obvious. Like anyone who was paying attention would have known that. And also, if she hadn't been narrating the movie, this movie might have just been an hour and 20 minutes, which would have been a more enjoyable movie. Like she didn't, and then her as a character in the story is even worse at many points because she's in this forced romance with this kid, and they don't really have any chemistry because she's super smart, super into reading, and it's clear this kid isn't into any of that, and he isn't like on her wavelength or whatever. He's just kind of into her because the story demands it, and it's just like, all right, it's annoying. And the writing here just stinks. The voice acting's terrible, and the movie is just like whatever. The story's just non engaging and it's boring. I don't care about any of these characters. The only times I mildly care was some of the humor involving the rats. Felt like some of the best moments of Shrek. But even then, it was like, it wasn't great in this movie. Like, it just reminded me of the best moments of Shrek. But, like, when they pulled out this little, like, metal squeaky rat thing to go into the rat trap. I thought jokes like that were funny, but it's just like other than that, they were just mild chuckles. They weren't laugh out loud moments like in Shrek, and it's just not a funny movie. It's just boring. It's shitty. That's how I feel about this movie. It's just shitty. I don't know why I went to go see this in a theater because I could kind of tell this stuff from watching the trailer, but I also I kind of heard some different things, and I was like, all right, well maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't really know what the point of this movie was, but it exists, and I did not like it.